Welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about a movie that tells the story of a girl who never received her parents' love during childhood. The movie begins in the year 1947, a time when India had just gained independence. However, not all foreigners had left the country, some still remained. One such family was Mary's. Since childhood, Mary had been told stories about Indian culture. She often played alone with her doll. One day, Mary discovers that there is no one left in her house. She wanders alone for days, hungry and desperate, trying to find them. During this time, a soldier notices her. There, they learn that Mary has some relatives living in England. Arrangements are made to send her there, and someone is sent to pick her up. When Mary arrived in England, she was taken to a huge mansion owned by her relatives. One of the caretakers named Martha, who looked after the house. As soon as Mary arrived, she was given many instructions. Martha told her that she was only allowed to go to certain rooms and should not wander into others. Within a few days, Mary would be sent to a school where she could stay, but for now, she had to remain at the mansion. Mary was very scared of being alone, especially in such a dark house where strange screaming sounds could sometimes be heard. The house had no colors, no warmth, and no one to talk to. Sometimes she would get flashbacks of her life, of the moments spent with her family. The next morning, Nanny came to wake Mary up. She didn't like rich kids, and because of that, she didn't treat Mary very kindly either. She scolded her and asked what rich children even knew how to do. Feeling upset, Mary decided to go out. She saw how huge the estate was, with dense forests stretching far and wide. It was so foggy and overgrown that she could barely see anything. Mary remembered that her nanny had once told her about a brother she never knew she had, who might be found somewhere around. As she started feeling hungry, she took out her sandwich and began eating. Suddenly, a dog appeared and scared her. Before it got too dark, she was called back to the house and was told that she must always return before evening. Mary began thinking about her past again, how her own mother never allowed her to come close. The next morning, Martha once again woke her up early and forced her to get ready quickly. Mary didn't like these strict routines. This time, though, she prepared herself and packed a small box before heading into the forest again. She named this dog Jemiah and began spending her days playing in the woods. While exploring, she noticed something strange. Jemiah would disappear when taken to a certain place. As she tried to understand what was happening, she again heard the screams from the mansion. Mary began to wonder if this house had ghostly spirits from old times. While checking one of the rooms, she discovered a boy named Colin. We learn that Colin is a physically disabled child. The next morning, Mary tells Martha that she can get ready by herself now. Martha then informs her that today she has to meet Mr. Craven. Mary gets dressed and meets him. He speaks very formally, and during their meeting, Mr. Craven informs Mary that she will be sent to school so she can study with other children. But Mary tells him that she doesn't want to go to school. She says she doesn't like studying. She just wants to play. Mr. Craven listens to her and agrees, but warns that if she ever misbehaves, she will be sent to school immediately. After this, Mary happily goes back to the forest. There, she sees her dog trapped in something. She frees the dog and begins to follow it, which leads her to a tall wall. She tries to climb it, and when she reaches the other side, she accidentally falls into another world. This place is a magical forest no one had ever seen before. The trees and plants there changed colors with the wind. Everything looked so beautiful. Suddenly, a bird leads Mary toward a tree. She checks inside the tree and finds a mysterious key. She wonders what the key might open. Later, she is called back home. When Martha sees her dirty appearance, she asks where she had been. While taking a bath, Mary looks at the key and wonders what door it belongs to. Mary then goes to Colin and tells him about the magical garden she found, a place where no one had ever been before. But Colin doesn't believe her. Colin had never had any friends and didn't talk nicely to Mary either. Later, while exploring the mansion, Mary sees a bright light coming from one room. Curious, she enters and finds a beautiful room filled with pictures of Colin's mother and Mary's mother. She discovers that both mothers were actually sisters and were very close. They even knew about the secret garden. The room had all their old dresses and jewelry. Mary accidentally takes a necklace from there. The next morning, she again thinks of how her own mother used to ignore her. Soon after, Mary meets Dickon in the forest and they become good friends. She shares the secret garden with him and decides to show him the magical place no one has ever seen. Mary and Dickon then go to the garden together and start discovering amazing things. They find that dog is still injured, so they go to River to find something to help him heal. They realize the garden has magical powers that might heal him. Mary tries to convince Colin to come with them, but he still doesn't believe in the magic, so she brings him to the same room where he saw the photos of his mother. Colin misses his mother dearly, but also feels angry that she left him. That's why he hates that room. But he begins to understand how much his mother and Mary's mother loved the garden and how it was their special place. Even though Colin doesn't like these memories, he starts yelling. Mary tries to calm him down, But then both of them fall suddenly. The next day, Mary is playing in the garden when they discover a hidden door. Mary already had the key, and she thinks it's time to tell Colin everything. But Colin is still upset over Mary's behavior the previous night, so he starts shouting loudly. Just then, Mary arrives and Colin still refuses to go with Mary. Mary tells him, "If you don't come with me, you'll die here without ever seeing the outside world." Finally, Colin agrees. Mary quickly pushes his wheelchair through the woods and opens the door. They enter the secret garden. Colin sees this magical place for the first time in many years. Mary already knew Colin's back were actually fine. He had just been told his back was weak. They feel happy being in the garden, where they also meet their pet dog. But one day, Miss Medlock catches Mary before she can go to the garden. She accuses her of stealing, even though Mary hadn't done anything wrong, and they decide that Mary is not a good child and must be sent to school. Mary angrily tells Mr. Craven, "Look at what you're doing to your own child. You've locked him up like he's in jail." Mr. Craven becomes very angry. The decision to send Mary to school is finalized, and she is locked in her room. Frustrated, Mary tries to knock over a statue of a horse. When it falls, she finds a bunch of old letters inside. Mr. Craven then goes to the same room where all of his late wife's belongings are kept. That night, Mary reads the letters and discovers how Colin's mother and Mary's mother were very close. They used to share everything and were both aware of the magical garden. She also learns that when they were young, Colin wasn't physically challenged at all. He was perfectly healthy. After reading the letters, Mary gathers courage and once again takes Colin to the garden. This time, they let Colin enter the magical water, believing it will help heal him faster. Colin feels incredibly happy. It was the first time in years that he had experienced something so freeing. All three of them sit together and read the letters. Through the letters, they realize that Colin's mother never disliked him. In fact, she loved him very much. She just died unexpectedly, and it had nothing to do with Colin. Mary's mother had always carried the pain of losing her sister. That's why she died with that sadness inside her. Mary now believes that Colin should stay in the garden so he can heal faster. Next day, when she goes to call Colin, she finds that he has already managed to open the door himself, but he still doesn't have enough strength to walk completely on his own. They all return to the garden and spend a lot of time there. The next day, Mary finds out that Miss Medlock has brought her school uniform. Craven has also decided that Mary will have to go to school no matter what. Meanwhile, Craven is feeling very lonely and had no idea what was really going on in the house. Suddenly, there's smoke coming from the house. Mary and the others run toward it. They help get everyone outside, but they realize that Mr. Craven is still inside the burning house. Mary bravely runs back in, but Mr. Craven refuses to leave and says, "I won't go without my son." Mary tells him, "We already sent him out." Mary remembers how her and Colin's mothers found a way out of this place before. Suddenly, she finds the exit and helps Mr. Craven escape from the burning house. Mr. Craven, still in disbelief, asks, "Where is my son?" Mary brings him to the secret garden. For the first time, Mr. Craven sees how magical and beautiful the garden is. He never even knew it was there behind his house. He's even more shocked to see that his son Colin is now walking on his own. It was all thanks to the garden, the same one his wife used to love. Craven, who had lost the will to live, now feels alive again after seeing his son. The house is being repaired, and Colin is fully healthy now. He and Mary spend time happily together in the secret garden, and the joy returns to their lives. And with that, the movie ends.